Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 10th, 2023, and today's topic is Acknowledge Him. Yo, happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was just fine overall. If I give you guys a quick recap of what my weekend looked like, long story short, well, Saturday was really nice. Obviously I started off my day with the juice, and then after that, I put a little time in rehearsing the script. Shout out to my husband because he assisted me with practicing being off book and everything like that. And it was interesting because I think it was one of his first times like being there while I'm like behind the scenes rehearsing. And so he would help me along the way. Of course, I had to deal with his commentary and whatnot. But it was a blessing because he would like challenge me to say the line absolutely correctly. And then like when I did get lines right, he saw my little celebrations and little quirky things that I do in the midst of like when I'm rehearsing with myself that I'm just so used to doing. But yeah, I had my little audience of my son who wanted both of our attention. And then I had him, making sure I was getting it right. So that was a blessing. That's what we ended up doing right after I got done. And I had this plan in my head. I said, okay, I'm gonna start getting ready at 11:30, and everybody else can get ready after that. And then we're gonna leave out of here by 2. Well, with that plan in motion, we left out. We were ready like I don't know, like 12:30. So I was like, okay. Um, but yeah, as y'all may know, those of y'all that follow me on social media, y'all that. Sorry about that, y'all. Which ironically, I was doing an interview for that book that you for the commercial that you guys just saw. I did an interview with in Contact. In Contact is the name of the show. Shout out to Radical Readers Clubhouse for inviting me. It was me and another lady, Miss Annette, I believe her name was, who is out here killing the children's book game. Not only does she has multiple books, but she has an amazing koala bear product that like reads to the kids and that parents can record themselves reading to their children. So y'all check her out. Y'all should see her tagged in my posts and whatnot about Saturday and everything. But amazing women. It just was really nice. And it was nice having my husband there, having my child there in the background. My husband got those photos and behind the scene footage and whatnot that you all saw. Miss Annette had her husband there as well, so that was really cool. Miss Terry is an amazing lady who has this amazing organization, Radical Readers Clubhouse. And so I really appreciate her sharing that opportunity with me. I appreciate everyone that was there doing their thing, very professional production. And yeah, man, it was nice. It was nice. And then right after, we were scheduled to go to hang out with my friend Summer. I told y'all that she had a pool party. And it was just nice, man. The whole week, well, that was just Saturday. But yeah, Saturday was really cool. I wish we had a little bit more time at the pool because by the time we got there and ate and we had like a little time, we was wrapping up in like an hour. And I just wish we had a little bit more time because it just was nice. It was nice to just lounge by the pool for a moment to capture, video of my husband and my son, frolicking in the pool. Obviously, my husband has to deal with both me and NJ, not necessarily knowing exactly how to swim, and me dealing with my PTSD from what happened with my ex. And those of y'all should know about now because I feel like I've shared that testimony. But anyway, so he has to deal with me, then he has to deal with NJ. But the thing I noticed about NJ is that he was really cautious on his own. Like he didn't do too much. Like he would kind of sit on the edge or he would sit on the stairs. But he like when he got to a point where he felt like, nah, this is gonna be too much. Like he didn't do too we didn't have to do too much being like, hey, don't jump in or some crazy stuff like that. He was very like cautious on his own. So I found that to be interesting. As I was, um, just checking out everybody. But anywho, that's what Saturday looked like. Okay. So then Sunday, y'all know that it was Grandparents' Day over there at Mountain West Church. Really, really nice. They had cake and punch for the grandparents. And then they also encouraged us to dress accordingly, like dress how, the grandparents dress when they went to church, X, Y, and Z. And I mean, a lot of people came in, they showed up and showed out. That y'all know that I had to go in, you know what I'm saying? Put on, look, I had to put my little hat on, look, I had some little stockings on. Look, I think my mama would have been real proud of me yesterday. I had on all the layers. Listen, a slip. Come on, somebody who know about it. Yes, I think my mom would have been real, real proud. I almost couldn't find my stockings yesterday morning. I was about to be upset about it, but I found them. Look, I had to put my glasses on to find them. Is that something? Am I getting old? I don't know. But yeah, Sunday was nice as well. So yeah. In short, that's pretty much what my weekend looked like. But let's get into this conversation, y'all. Acknowledge him. So where did inspiration come from today? I would say that it more so came from the message from yesterday. So shout out to Pastor Mo, preaching and teaching, you know what I'm saying? Apparently his mother was there yesterday as well. So that was kind of cool to see her. I didn't get a chance to talk to her or anything, but both him and his wife and his mother both had like similar hats on. It was just really interesting. Like when they walked in, it just was a moment. It was just funny. I mean, I noticed it. I mean, it wasn't like a processional or nothing, but I was just saying I noticed that both walked in and they had like similar hats on, and it was just a vibe. But anyway, and if I can't say anything about yesterday, it did like add a little something special. You know what I mean? Like a little extra oomph. Like I don't know if Mountain West got like, I don't know. Or maybe I was sitting on another side because I usually sit in a certain section. But I ended up sitting with my in-laws yesterday or whatever. And they usually sit to the left of the building. And I don't know if maybe just being over there had it have a different feel, different vibe. But I mean, obviously, again, there was a lot of little special touches that Mountain West was doing to, acknowledge that it was Grandparents' Day and stuff like that. And so they had these moments of like, there's a choir. Obviously, they were singing hymns and, just, different types of music and whatnot. And, so the whole vibe felt a little different. And I just felt like that brought out a little something special or different from the Mountain West congregation, I feel like, as well. So that was interesting to observe. But anywho, basically what I'm saying is that the message yesterday that the pastor shared is partially the inspiration for today's conversation about acknowledge him. I would say that, obviously he talked about, how every knee shall bow, everyone will acknowledge him one day, things of that nature. But yeah, what he said that yesterday, that acknowledging him part really stood out to me. And so even though I had a few other things on my heart and mind this morning after I did the prayer meditation, I went back to that thought, acknowledge him. And as I did, I felt a little confirmation. And here I am sitting here chit-chatting about it. Okay. So let's get into the juice. All right. So the Bible verse, oh no, excuse me. Look, I'm getting to the Bible verse of the day. The juice is done. Just kidding. First, I want to share the definition of acknowledge. It says accept or admit existence or truth of. And then the second definition says recognize the fact or importance or quality of. I know I feel like I talk about this all the time, but here it is. I think we are struggling with acknowledging God. We as humans, we struggle with not only the stuff that the Bible had to say, but just acknowledging him in general. For whatever reason, I feel like we're trying to close our eyes and ears to the fact that God exists. Maybe it's because we don't want to be accountable. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable or to a standard, maybe it's because we just want to do what we want to do. But for whatever reason, it's like we're trying to, anything that, it's like if it how you want me to say this, Lord? Okay. It's like we'll do anything to replace God. You know what I mean? Like, again, I've talked about this, but here it is. Instead of saying God, right, or instead of acknowledging Jesus and things like that, we'd rather say the universe. We'd rather say whatever. We'd rather give that glory and honor to anything else outside of the God of the Bible. And some of us, but I would just say humanity in general. It seems like that's what we would prefer, and I think it goes back to, again, us just wanting to do what we want to do. And hey, I'm sure I like to do what I want to do as well. But again, as believers, we have to take captive of those thoughts and follow Christ. Even this morning, I think I did put it in the Go Deeper section as well. At some point, I ended up reading an article probably on gotquestions.org, and it was talking about, like, what Jesus meant about quote unquote hating your mother and father, and things of that nature. No, he's not calling for us to, hate each other and things like that, but he is calling for us to put him above everything. Even our own idea, right? Even ourselves. So in a world that's cool or comfortable with not acknowledging God, how can we start to acknowledge him more, right? I guess that's the question today. Now, I don't know if I'm going to answer it. It might be something you got to answer for yourself. How can you acknowledge God more in your life? Me, like I said, I'm at the point now where I'm like, hey, Lord, whatever you want to do. I still got goals, dreams, ideas, X, Y, and Z. But I'm finally comfortable with leaving things in God's hands and saying that I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to do whatever it is the Lord wants me to do and go from there. Again, y'all know it took me a while to get here. It's a process and everything like that. I'm not trying to sit here and act like it's the easiest thing to do, to lay down everything and give everything to the Lord and just fully trust and stuff like that. Cause because I guess there's a lot of things that makes it difficult, right? Again, when you have all kinds of opinions, right? That can make it difficult. When you have maybe, again, his invisible nature, right? You're like, oh, well, I can't see this God, right? I know that's something that NJ is already struggling with. He's just 4 years old. He's already asked the questions, where is he? And things of that nature. So just like children, we're still like that in our adult life, where we can still struggle with these things and thoughts and stuff. But again, like I said, it's just hard for me at this point to deny God, because at the end of the day, even though no, I have not seen, right? But I can say that I felt and I can see him moving in my life. And I know there's things happening beyond me. Yeah, there's choices I'm making and things like that, sure. But when your bills is being paid and you ain't got no money, you know what I'm saying? When you still able to eat and all this type of stuff, like when you able to, publish 6 books in 1 year and you ain't working nowhere. Like, when I'm just saying, like, when miracles and miraculous things are happening, even just another day, like the pastor was saying yesterday, we all have something to praise God about, even if it's just waking you up, breathing, having the ability, some of us have the ability to use all of our limbs and all these different things. Like, but even if you don't have the ability to do so, again, if you even just waking up and breathing is a blessing, and so it's just one of those things, y'all, to think about. But anywho, so obviously, I can't have a conversation about acknowledging God, right, without this verse right here. This Proverbs 3:6. It says, "In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." I mean, it says in all our ways, y'all. Don't say, well, just acknowledge Him in this area and then and not in this area. We need to be acknowledging Him in our ways. I guess that's one of the things that we can challenge ourselves to do. Seeking Him for the wisdom, seeking Him for the guidance, seeking Him for how can my life be pleasing to you? Like, what is your will? What is your way? What do you want me to do? All of these different things. Like, I think I told you all a few weeks ago that a friend of mine was kind of questioning, um, you know, someone else, a mutual, I guess, friend, you would say, and like basically, struggling with the concept of like moving when God says move and things of that nature. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like when you don't know the next step and you don't know where it's going to go, and you don't, when you're in a place where you're feeling lost and things like that, and people are saying to you, trust God and, acknowledge God, X, Y, and Z, it could sound crazy, right? Now, to me, I'm thinking, hey, it's worth the try and it's worth the shot, because at the end of the day, the more I did that, and the more that's what got me here today, and everything like that. But sometimes we may have to look crazy and be crazy, right? To get to the next level. You might have to pick up and move when God say move, you might, and like I said, I've come to find out that when you don't move, you will get moved. Those times when I was procrastinating and slow to move, when I was feeling the Lord pushing me to move, he pushed me on out. I tell y'all all the time, he pushed me out of Florida. It wasn't necessarily something I was thinking about doing at that time, or wanting to do. I put it like that, because I mean, I felt things shifting with the job, and things like that, but I didn't move or anything like that. The next thing I know, they're letting me go for reasons that I probably could have fought. But on the flip side, it was like, because it was already confirmed that the Lord was telling me to move and leave from there, I didn't even attempt. I was like, I already see what this is. Now, did I know that God was going to move me all the way out of Florida soon after that? No, I don't think I knew that. But I'm glad he did, right? I'm glad he did. And I'm glad to be, in this place where I am today and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, we have to challenge ourselves to do this, acknowledge God in all our ways. Now, Romans 1:20, it says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. At the end of the day, we don't have any excuse. Like, even if we want to sit here and say, oh, there's no God, well, explain the earth. Oh, there's no God, then explain your body. Explain you. And people try to do that. They try to say, oh, it just happened out of nowhere. But there's a lot of really meticulous things that went into just the human body. Let's not talk about the earth. Let's not talk about the quote unquote universe that everybody want to quote about, and the solar system and all this type of stuff. Like, let's not even talk about the planets outside of the earth and all of that, right? To be honest, and I told my husband this, and I'm not sitting here saying I don't know one way or the other. I'm just being honest about my experience in life and what I've observed. And I can't say that I've seen no other planets. That's me. I can't say. I've said that I've learned about them. You know what I mean? I can say that I've seen the diagrams and photos, whatever the case is, that people have say that these is what it is, X, Y, and Z. But have I seen it with my own eyes? No. I'm not saying it ain't there. I'm just saying I ain't seen it, and people could probably use that same thing about God. They could be like, oh, well, I ain't seen God. So how does that, what's the proof that he's there? Well, I'm like, well, again, you see you when you look in the mirror. And maybe you don't want to believe you're created X, Y, and Z, but I believe that there's a lot that proves that, because it's just very I know Pastor quoted this yesterday, which y'all know I know where it came from. He said, we don't have enough faith to be an atheist. And that's real, because and we know that that's from Frank Turek and cross-examine and things like that. But yeah, to believe that all, like, even like I said, let's not even get into the earth and all that, right? Let's just talk about humanity. So to believe humanity came from absolutely nothing, no outside influence, nothing made us, like, and we just popped up, and we just, I guess, evolved from they say monkeys, but then monkeys are still here. I'm just saying. So what happened with these ones then? You know what I mean? Like, hey, you teach your own, you believe what you want to believe, we got free will. However, to me, again, I just feel like we are too detailed, right? We are too unique in detail, each and every one of us, to not have been created. And then again, the earth is a magnificent, beautiful thing, just to for lack of a better way to truly describe, the sea is its own whole nother experience that few of us really even know about. Same as the space and everything. So I mean, hey, believe what you want to believe, but to believe that there was no creator at all, I believe that everything else is a testament or a I guess proof against that idea. Because I guess, again, with all the creation, there must be a creator. But hey, y'all can go deep with that on your own. Now, Luke 12:8-9, it says, and I tell you, everyone who acknowledges me before men, the Son of Man will also acknowledge before the angels of God. But the one who denies me before men will be denied before the angels of God. Friends, you guys can go deeper because there was a couple of things that came into my heart and mind as I was looking at that verse today. And I would say the two verses are Philippians 2:10-11, and then Luke 14:26-35. Like, those things came into my heart and mind. But I guess what I was saying this moment about it is that, I mean, we like to let other people dictate what we do and what we think and things like that. And like I told y'all before, at the end of the day, there's no one else that can stand in your place for you when it comes to Judgment Day or anything like that, right? And maybe you don't believe that that's going to happen, X, Y, Z, and you got the free will and right to believe if you don't, believe if you want to believe, or don't believe if you don't want to believe. But let's just say it does happen, right? No one else can stand for you. I can't stand for you. I can't stand for my son. Like, nobody else can stand for you, and you can't blame nobody else. You can't point the finger at anybody else about, you choosing not to acknowledge God. At the end of the day, so you can be fully comfortable with accepting something that and being like, okay, well, I'll take the L. I don't want to believe, so X, Y, Z. I can even I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I was gonna say I can even I'll say it like this. Thank you, Lord. I can respect someone that says, hey, you know what? I choose not to believe, and that's my choice. Hey, you right. That is your choice, and you got the free will because God gave you that, right? I can I can respect that. But what I have, I guess, trouble or struggle with respecting is the idea that people using other people as an excuse, right? Oh, well, because this pastor, I chose not to believe. Or, oh, because Miracle on YouTube said something I didn't like, then I chose not to believe. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can, and I mean, we used to doing that as humans. You know what I'm saying? Look, Adam and Eve did it in the beginning, and we are their children, and everything like that. We're doing the same stuff, right? There's nothing new about the idea of trying to put it off on someone else. But at the end of the day, it's only going to be on you, like your life, all this type of stuff. Everything that happens and everything like that is ultimately on you as an individual. And so you have to decide what you're going to do with the message, the conversation, and everything like that. Are you going to acknowledge God or not? Are you going to close your eyes and ears to him and try to pretend he's not there? At the end of the day, you can do that, but that still doesn't mean that he's not there and that all this stuff is in play. And so I mean, ultimately, I guess that's the juice this morning. Even though I don't know, it might be, bittersweet to some. It might not be what we want to hear this morning, right? It might not be the most quote unquote inspiring juice this morning. I don't know. how those of you all that listen to the sound of my voice may receive this. But yeah, like I said, it's your choice at the end of the day. I implore you, I try to encourage and inspire you to acknowledge God, acknowledge him. That's the least we can do. Then, getting on our God-given gifts and all that is a whole nother thing, but acknowledging him is like the basics, the like very first step. Like, so like I said, that's the juice, y'all. That's the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Matthew 6:11, and it says, "Give us this day our daily bread." So, friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired to acknowledge the Lord on today. Again, let's just ask ourselves, how can we do that better? If it's just starting at step one and saying, Lord, are you there? Talking to him, asking him to show you, asking him, not say to prove it to you, because I think, again, everything around us is proof. I mean, if you look in the mirror, that's proof. If you look, if you sit outside for a moment and just look at the sky, I mean, that's proof. Like, I don't know, like there's tons of proof that there's a creator. If you acknowledge it, right? If you close your eyes and ears to it, then you can do that. But that still doesn't mean that the truth is, not the truth. Like, so you can close your eyes and ears to the truth, but that doesn't mean it's not there. So, yeah, y'all. I mean, I'm excited, y'all. So today we're supposed to be having a dress rehearsal for the show that I'm in. And then the next 3 days will be kids camp at the church. I'll be performing. Most likely I'm gonna be assisting as well. I felt kind of bad yesterday because they started working on, I guess, doing setting up the different things for kids camp, and I know they were like, "Oh, Miracle, you can come and get some pizza," and I was like, "Okay," and we came and got pizza, and then we left, and I was all about to get ready to like decorate and stuff, but I was all Sunday best, and I didn't, you know what I mean, like I wasn't asked to assist with that portion, and or did I know necessarily or really know about it or whatever. So I came on home and stuff, but yeah, that's what's coming up this week. Hopefully NJ will enjoy his time at kids camp and everything like that. Yeah, so that's what the next few days is supposed to look like. It's kind of raining right now, so but I think majority of the kids camp stuff should be inside. Prayerfully this dress rehearsal will go well. Like I said, I do feel a little better about putting, quote unquote, the book down in regards to the script for the show. Because like I said, I didn't use it at all when I was working with my husband on Saturday, and we was going through the lines and stuff like that. So hopefully some of that will come back to assist me today for dress rehearsal, and then prayerfully the shows will go well. And yeah, and prayerfully they'll do what they're supposed to do in regards to encouraging and inspire the future, right? The children at the kids camp and stuff like that. So many things, man. I feel like we've just been so busy this year, really. There's just been event after event or thing after thing. And so basically a little sneak peek, you know what I'm saying? My parents' anniversary is over the weekend. And so, we'll be celebrating that Sunday and everything. And so a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot of things going on, but I'm thankful and I'm looking forward to all the things. And yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go because I can sit here and chit chat with y'all all day. So y'all just have a wonderful, wonderful Monday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.